get rough with me before I would leave, but I did leave. And he told me not to bring nothing. He said, don't bring nothing. I just had on some barefoot sandals and a towel tied on my head, and that's the way I went. Because I was fussing and disgusted and scared too.
I remember my mother putting us, my sisters and my brother, under the bed. I remember the people coming in, white people coming into our house with torches, setting the curtains on fire and setting our house on fire. And one stepped on my finger while I was under the bed. And my sister put her hand over my mouth to keep me from screaming.
They was burning and everything, set houses up there coming this way, burning. It reminded me of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible. And we was going that way. He said, everybody get out in the opening where they'll see and won't nobody get hurt. And he was right. He was right. Long as we was out where they could see us, they didn't bother. But they were shooting from airplanes and everywhere. It was a hot time.
My dad had heard, as other black men in that park had heard, that the white marauders were approaching them. And my dad was joining other black men to protect the black people, the wives and the children who were there. The next thing that I remember was that we saw a railroad train with boxcars attached to it, and in at least two of those boxcars there were soldiers in uniform, and they were white soldiers.
And they was just like this with them shotguns, just like this. And of course I just knew I was about to go be killed myself.
We were afraid that they came to kill us, and they said, no, we came to help you. And they wanted to take the men and leave the women and children out there. I spoke up, I said, no, we want to go with our husband. If you're going to kill them, kill us all together.
During the riot, black men had taken up arms to protect their families. Now they were charged with incitement, taken off to jail or the county fairgrounds, and tagged for identification.
And babies were born that night, 2 or 3 babies and everything. Now, I had some personal friends that had a baby born the night before the riot started, and they lost that baby during the riot, trying to keep up with him. They had him in a shoebox, no, in some kind of box like a shoebox, and that baby got away from him.
Welcome back. You listen to the State of the City. Let me do this. So open up the lines. Take your thoughts, questions, comments before we transition, or as we transition into the second hour. Paying homage, again, to the victims of Black Wall Street, men, women, and children, and sharing that story. As I said before, there's several books I know that are out on Black Wall Street that you can pick up and read and learn more. Audio tapes, videotapes, DVDs as well. You can get them, I'm sure, Everyone's Place bookstore. I'm sure there's some blockbuster editions out there as well that you can pick up, watch, view, and renew and educate yourself. Elevate, again, on this day in particular when the crime actually took place. One of the most horrific crimes against men, women, and children and a black community that, again, is not given, I think, they're just due in history in terms of, again, educating citizens in this country, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, on, again, one of the worst Holocaust in my office against our people in this country. But you can get in on the conversation if you like. 410-761-1592. Get in where you fit in where you get in on the conversation. Welcome back. That was John Legend. Who did that to you? And with that, you can join us on the line as we're commemorating again Black Wall Street 2013. You can get in on the conversation, 410-761-1592. Please be patient. We're coming right to the lines, and you can get in where you fit in where you get in. And then if you do not know about Black Wall Street, here's your opportunity to take time on this day to educate yourselves and your family about Black Wall Street, because once you saw the potential of what those organized black and red members of our human family were able to unite to do, then you'll know the potential of what this generation can do, which is greater than what that generation did. But you got to be willing to at least be able to tell the story and not be afraid to tell the story because of the pain and the guilt. And others should feel guilty for what took place, and they should be, of course, given reparations for what took place for those who have been part of this national and international movement toward reparations. But let me come to the line. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
Good afternoon. I wanted to first thank you for bringing that story on Black Wall Street forward.
Thank you.
I'm open on the air, and it made me reflect on several statements that my father, who is now passed away, has shared with me regarding that same story.
Yes, ma'am.
It was like I was hearing it for the second or third time.
Yes.
And I initially thought that I was going to call the station to answer your first question, which was, what were you listening to in terms of commemorating Black Music Month?
Yes, ma'am.
So I knew that I was going to address that, but I got so involved in listening to the details of the Black Wall Street story.
Yes.
That has the music issue has kind of taken second place. But I did want to address that because I don't have the iPods, but I do listen quite frequently to Lionel Hampton and Gloria Lynn, Nat King Cole, and Dinah Washington. And of course, when the gentleman was speaking about the Black Wall Street experience, and he mentioned that Dinah Washington and several other black musicians were traveling through Tulsa. That kind of gave me a little spark. So it all tied in together.
Yes, ma'am.
And I am certainly very appreciative of today, just hearing this segment of your broadcast. It is most beneficial, and I just wish that there were more African American people in Baltimore listening to you. I'm trying to help do something to broaden your listening audience.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm just giving you a little heads up.
Okay.
We've never met.
Yes.
And I do intend to meet you at some period before I leave the planet, but I'm trying to work on some things, trying to expand the knowledge that you're passing out to other people that don't have a clue what we are really all about.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I thank you very much.
And with that, I want you to have a great weekend.
You do the same. Thank you very much for your kind words.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. With that, we'll take more of your calls, 410-761-1592. Don't be afraid to get in on the conversation. Black, brown, red, yellow, and white, near, far, wherever you are. If you're listening, as we're commemorating Black Wall Street, and if you don't know, then, again, I said you have to at least have the desire to want to know. As a wise man once said, that's the greatest crime that, again, those that enslaved our people committed against us, was to rob us of a knowledge of self and then to rob us of the desire to want to learn about ourselves, because you would feel some type of guilt. That's what you call flipping the script. But again, we'll continue to educate, elevate, celebrate on this show and with this flow. With that, let me come back to the lines. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the State of the City.
Yes, good afternoon, Brother Dern. Great topic, man. I just wanted to add, brother, that it's quite ironic that you would not give the people of Black Wall Street reparations, but you would give the Japanese reparations, and we were at war with that country.
Yes, sir. Japanese, Germans. I mean, you can call the roll, brother, in terms of those that have been given reparations.
It makes no sense, brother, you know?
Yes, sir. Even Native Americans right now that are getting, of course, due to the atrocities committed against them, and as Dr. Claude Anderson has talked about in terms of the tribes and many of the treaties, most of them were made with those that looks like us that are the natives to, of course, this part of the Western Hemisphere, and they've been receiving reparations in forms of some of the casinos and land as well. So we're going to have to, again, stress that and press that in terms of, again, the national and international movement for reparations for our people, but particularly those in what we're looking at as Black Wall Street today. But please continue, my brother.
Sure, brother. I just want to add that, man, you know, maybe or hopefully we can get some black leaders with some testicular fortitude that may expedite this a little bit.
Yes, sir. It's important. We have to. And many of those, again, who were victims of Black Wall Street parents have passed on, and some of the children. I remember recently, of course, the great John Hope Franklin and others. I remember last year talking about Otis Clark, one of the oldest survivors. I think he was 108 or 9 years old. I still have that interview, who died last year, talking about his plight and flight away from, again,